Hello, big people, small people, boys and girls all over the world. My name is TV Weez, and welcome back to Silenced, the house. Now, I'm sorry that I haven't been getting to my videos lately, but I am back. And I'm ready to do some more of this. I'm sure that we're pretty close to the end here. So we're gonna try and get through this as fast as we can. Okay, so are we gonna stay and look on the execution, or will we return to the house? I suppose either way is good. Let's go with... Oh, that's not what I want. I guess we'll return to that house. Decided not to forget about the main thing. It seemed to me that if I stay for only a couple of minutes, it would put everything I believed in danger. Do not say that my faith is strong, no. But there are rules that should not be broken. I need to get back to the guys, no, to the victims. Do this as quickly as possible. I decided to try to go down through the chimney. Finding cracked bricks, I hit the crack with my foot. At first they did not break, so I kicked the stone again. Finally I managed to break a hole that I could crawl through. Lloyd screamed, and a crunch of bones were heard from behind. But I did not turn around. No time for it. Inside the chimney I found small metal legends under my feet. How nice that she foresaw this happening. Slowly dropping my legs and fingering the legends, I descended lower and lower along the staircase attached to the wall. She left it for me here, and the chimney was wide enough to descend without any troubles. Once I was on the first floor, I found that it was not so easy to get out. The fireplace was quite small. I sat down on all fours and then leaned forward to let my hands touch the grating. I lifted one foot and pushed it against the stone. There was a crash of grating and then it broke. I fell out of the fireplace and, rising abruptly, ran to Ella. "Where is Martin? Where is Grace?" "He has her." The girl was sitting on the mattress and holding her newspaper in her hand. She looked wide-eyed right in front of her. Next to me laid my bag. I snatched the newspaper from her hands. Read in this issue: "Beauty requires sacrifice. The girl sets on fire the house of her best friend, who won the Miss School contest. Friends can be as thick as thieves. A rapist forces his friend to jump off a roof right after he screwed his girlfriend. Rubric intrigue. Serial killer. Lover is now in your house. Carefully look at yourself in the mirror and make sure that your appearance is not similar to his sister. She received all of the love of her parents, and he hated her. And he hates you the same way, Grace Hutling. A letter from our readers. Hello, dear Ella. If you're reading this, then I'm already around. Mr. Bubbles still wants to play with you. I'm sure that you are also waiting for this. After all, last time you just died of waiting to play with him. Announcement. I will buy strings. Unfortunately, mine are now sticking out of bleeding wrists. With such, you can't play the guitar. For all questions, please contact Anna Wrightberg. Southern Quarter, 7th row, location 1, Aaronstone Groves. Grace, where are you? God damn it. I shook Ella. Where the hell are they? Ella could not answer. No, not because I did not give her enough with my shun shaking. She was scared, and besides, she really did not know how. She did not know. Ella just pointed up, but this is not an answer. It's the same as if she did not know, and perhaps it would be better if she did not say anything at all. Did not show her existence. Did not show that she was here. I was really pissed off. I hit her in the face. Now I became another Ashley. The killer girl, Ashley the murderer, not the one that summons ghosts and hides behind her. Now I have become the devil himself. It was clear that they were on the upper floors. Martin wanted to kill him, like all those who have already been giving his bracelets. Looking up, I asked myself the question, am I ready for a meeting with you, lover? Hell yeah, I'm ready. I ran up the stairs. Although I was already very close to the second floor, I seemed to take only the first step. Fear freezed time and eclipsed my mind. The cold hands of the dead girls seeped through the steps that I descended. Actually, you're ascending. That's ascending there, buddy. You ascended that. They grabbed me, wanted me to listen to their stories. Each one of them wanted to yell at me, to pour on me with their blood, which seeped into my mind, swollen by madness. They wanted to rip off my ears and whisper their stories inside of them, spit worms and throw their insides in my face. They wanted to do this anything so that I would pay attention to their voices. They were already there, awoken too fast suddenly, and not according to plan. They knew that Martin was about to do it again, and even she could not hold them anymore. She should have. I felt that the ground beneath me had shifted, but I managed to keep myself together. After skipping a few steps, I was on the second floor. There was a cry. It was Grace. The cry came from the nursery. I climbed the stairs to the third floor and prepared for the worst. The girl was lying on the bed. Her hands and feet were tied, and a familiar bracelet gleamed on her thin wrist. Martin was holding a knife above her. Hearing my steps, the guy turned and pierced me with his gaze. He did not look like himself now. His eyes glittered like sapphires, as if he were going to acquire something that he had always dreamed of. He licked his trembling lips. I'll do it, Ashley. You know that she's mine. You hear them? Now I know. I can hear them too. They are after you. It ends now. I lied, of course, before it would be over. I still needed to deal with the couple and then destroy the entire harem of Martin. The lover was burning with desire. He was no longer a human. He became a monster. His shadow stretched out and dug his fangs into Grace. No, it's just an imagination, but the steps behind me were not. And I turned around. Madness. God, I missed them. Couple was dragging along the corridor. I recognized the tattoo on the girl's neck, and of course, these sewn-up mouths. It looks like they already dealt with Lloyd and now wandered around the house in search of new victims. Martin and Grace would be ideally suited for this role, but I could not afford it, not on my watch. Right in front of me, as if I had become to... That's nice. Right in front of me, as if I had become the very epicenter of the events. There was a girl who once belonged to Martin Gray, and he belonged to her. Jane Gray. She had huge knives coming from her back for cutting meat. The scars that protruded on the skin in the places where there were glimpses between the bandages glinted scarlet. She smelled of medicine and blood. Jane was holding bandages in her hands, which were twisted with white snakes on the necks of 3 other girls. They looked like dogs on a leash. The bandages were so tight that I thought she was strangled and would break their necks. But of course it was a very stupid idea. After all, the girls were already dead. I saw only 3 girls who began to approach the couple, but felt the presence of at least 10 or even more. Having examined the commander girl more attentively, I saw that there were still bandages stretching from her hands, 5 on each arm. They waved in the air with white waves. I heard a soft tapping. These are gold, silver, and plastic bracelets that knock on each other. For a second, my mind seemed to be in a different dimension. I saw girls in a strange dance. One of them held the hand of the other. She grabbed the stub where a hand used to be. The other clung to the protruding bone. The third touched the wall with a finger and wrote Martin Gray, "Do you love me?" And then her hand slipped and wrapped around the guy's neck. But she could not kill Martin. Not until Jane commanded her to. The couple was at first confused and scattered, shaking their heads. The girls tore off the bandages and leaped forward, exposing their sharp teeth. They were digging with their fangs into the bodies of Nadine and Thomas, trying to tear them apart. They could not kill them without destroying the binding objects, too. And I could not allow this. Nadine, who sat on her shoulders, not able to balance herself, leapt from the steps, rolling toward the second floor. The glass bracelet broke from a strong blow, and the girl with a cry disappeared. Sally, one of the lover's victims, spit out her tongue. I cut it around the neck of the girl with a tattoo, but thank God she did not touch the pattern. Nadine managed to dodge and ran downstairs. Sally, who is now slips in the grave in the Ernstone Grove Cemetery, saw such a picture, she would certainly vomit. If she saw what became of her, she would share her breakfast with the crows who visit her grave every day, that's for sure. I took one of the knives, pulling it out of Jane's back, and rushed to Martin, bewildered by what was happening, to hit him in the temple to neutralize the bastard. Jane Grain turned to me. Her eyes were covered with bandages, but I knew that her look was definitely unkind. All the pain belongs to her and the girls. I can't kill Martin, but since the blow was not so painful, it seems that she forgave me for this. Thanks. I rushed out of the room and ran downstairs to the first floor, following Nadine, Thomas, and the several girls from the horde of Jane. Running down the steps, I saw Sally stand upright. Honestly, I thought that she would remain crawling on all fours. The girl put her hands on her mouth, stirring bandages on her face, and pulled them out, pierced with blades that went under her fingernails. She got closer to Nadine and wanted to slash her neck again, but I got just in time between them and blocked the attack with my knife. Yes, let's say that the years of training made me a skilled fighter. However, I'm just a human. Sally touched my hand with her claws. Somehow overcoming the pain, I took Nadine by the throat and cut it through the middle of the tattoo, sharply pressed on the temple. The girl's head tore off and fell to the floor, and the body crumbled to dust. The seams on Thomas's lips parted, and he yelled. Worms fell from the open mouth. Sally was already coming from a new strike. This time she attacked me. I thought she was my ally, though temporarily. But at that very moment, it became clear that she wanted to kill me as well. Having beaten the blow with a knife, I swung at Sally and she backed away. Turning sharply, I grabbed Thomas by the hand, but he pushed me away and snatched the knife from my weak fingers. Without thinking twice, the guy stabbed the blade in my stomach. Then he jumped to Sally and cut over her beaded neck bracelet. God damn, I almost died. I closed my eyes, anticipating my death. No, I can't die like this. My life does not belong to me. In front of me lay the forceps. I knew what I had to do with it. One of my teeth ached. No, I will not do it. I don't want to. Go to hell. You lost too much blood. Just let me help. Damn, Thomas seemed to think that I was dead, and headed upstairs to finish Martin and Grace. Ella did not notice. She seemed to be still sitting in the next room, not giving any sign of life. I wonder if she's conscious at all. I frowned, took those forceps, and put them in my mouth. Experienced the infernal pain. I grabbed one of the teeth in the metal grip and pulled. I would not have had the strength to pull out a tooth, so she helped me. Forceps flew out of the hands, and the blood spilled to the floor with a thin trickle. I took her rotten, dead tooth, which was now wider than all of mine, and inserted it into the place of the torn one. It immediately grabbed my flesh, and I gained strength, and most importantly, The wound was drawn out. I did not think that I'd have to go that far. 6 teeth already. Oh, I got an achievement. Dentist is at your service. Cool. 6 teeth already. This number scared me. But thank God, a person has 32 teeth. I caught up with Thomas. He tried to shred Jane, waving a knife near the doorway of the children's room. I again borrowed the knife from the girl, and grabbing the guy by the hand, cut off the skin with his tattoo. The knife was very sharp, easily passed through the flesh, leaving a bloody exposed bone on his arm. When his body fell, I wanted him to stand up and close the terrible picture. In the middle of the nursery sat Martin. His hands were lying on the floor and his legs were also separated from the body. There was a crunching and gnashing of bones, while sounds of chewing flesh. Girls led by Jane surrounded Martin and devoured him. Worst thing, that he was still alive. He yelled and begged to be rescued. I already saw it. Spirits of anger, in fact, are terrible. They can make a person live after death for a few more seconds. The black magic of that world is really scary. I tried not to look at this horror. One of the girls raised her bandaged head to me. Martin's brush was clamped in her teeth. She, like an inquisitive kitten, turned her head and then returned to her meal. I pulled Grace out of the room, trembling with fear. Horror stiffened in her eyes, and a cry crept to her lips. It seemed that if she opened her mouth, she would certainly skin them. Somewhere inside me, the door opened and she went into the hall, lit by thousands of candles of hunger. Thin hands clutched at the beating heart, the teeth dug into the red flesh, staring into the organ. She eagerly began to bite off the heart into large pieces. The flesh stretched, tore, blood dripped onto the floor, red patches fell around. I soon removed the terrible images of her feast from my mind. Everything's fine, we need to go. Fine, really? But the girl didn't say anything. We came downstairs to Ella. At that moment, she had collected her things and was going to leave. We needed to be prepared for the next creature. She'll come soon. We must be prepared. Prepared for what? For the eternal afterlife. You really think we'll win? She won't let us. The girl wanted to strangle me. Looks like she cared about the fate of her little brother much less than her own. She went mad just like Lloyd and rushed to me. Stop it, enough. I'll kill you, bitch. I'll kill you, shitty slut. She grabbed my throat and began to strangle me. I swung with my knife and managed to get out, but soon Grace took the knife away and raised it to kill me. I took a step back and the knife stabbed the wall. Grace, what are you doing? It's her. She did this. She's killing us. The ritual, all of this, it's her work. But if she wanted to kill us, she would have already done that. I don't know. Maybe she's waiting for something. I just don't know. Grace's face suddenly changed. She looked at me. I guess Grace understood that she just couldn't ever become a real threat to me. Not for Ashley Knight. The girl who had just moved to a new school and has lots of enemies already. It was not even a human being who was standing in front of her, but the devil itself. All the remorse, like taking away lives is a sin, killing people is bad, was in my head. I was fighting it. I cut the memories with a huge knife, tortured them, or even tore them apart, but never got rid of them. I knew that what I was doing was wrong. Knew that I was a monster as bad as Pennywise, the dancing clown from Stephen King's It. I knew myself as such and I didn't accept it, but I had no choice. Anyway, Grace saw genuine evil in front of her. She saw the girl who was laughing at her prey, the girl that got satisfaction from stabbing flesh and tearing it apart. And I'd lie if I said that killing wasn't funny, but it's just a way to make it less scary, terrifying, and immoral. I'm just playing a killer imitating her, even though the guilt is all mine. Grace started moving back, swinging with the knife. Don't you dare come near me, asshole. Don't you dare. Her eyes were full of fear, not madness. Her will wasn't broken. She didn't have enough strength to beat me, but she couldn't give up so easily. The girl turned around and ran upstairs. I didn't follow her, no need for that. Moreover, Jane, with her army, just started coming to me, and Ella. A little goth girl noticed my axe stuck in the wooden floor and pulled it out. She nodded understandingly. I wouldn't want to kill her, but I would have to, as she had made her choice when she crossed the line as all of them. Actually, I can help her to deal with the monsters, but Jane is mine. I pushed my hand in the pocket and took out a tooth. Thankfully, I had several of them. Take it. This thing brings luck. Yeah, some luck is what I really need right now. I was watching in fear as something like the mummy of a learner Hydra started walking down the stairs, one by one, filling the room with the odor of blood. It seemed like the walls started rotting with these horrible creatures touched them. The bandages were rustling and rubbing against their mutilated and broken bodies. Their black eyes were bottomless, black abysses. Now the whole squad with Jane ahead was ready. They rushed to us from all directions. I heard the sound of their teeth blades scratching. Ella was screaming in fear but was swinging with her axe so fast that the pieces of flesh were flying off. Sometimes she even managed to destroy the bracelets. Ella practiced dancing so her movements weren't chaotic at all. Indeed, I saw the rhythm and grace. Anyway, it's good enough to kill those assholes. Like a hysterical ballerina, she was going round and round. Blood was splashing on her, hugging her with a red dress. Her axe went up and down, slaying the monster girls. But they were just coming and coming, and we were too exhausted to continue the fight. I was crazily swinging with my knife, and even kept the monsters away from Ella. Unfortunately, I couldn't fight forever. I hated my weapon, which wasn't able to kill those bastards properly. One of the ghost girls managed to grab me by the throat, and holding the useless knife in my hand, I looked in horror at the shiny bracelet on her wrist. Thankfully, Ella was right on time to cut the freaking hand off. The monster screamed and fell on the floor. Friends jumped at us. I grabbed the random target. Jackpot, this time the bracelet was a chain, and I easily destroyed the monster when it was torn apart. It could be much easier, but I had already used the tooth. It could give me powers It could give me powers only once, and I usually used it to stay alive after a serious injury. It is no use. We need to figure out something. Jane with her squad were downstairs already, so Grace peeked from the upper floor. She was seeking an opportunity to run away. It was not the best moment, so she returned to her safe place. Run, bitch, run! Ella's voice was cold and cruel, not as usual. I continued swinging with my knife. We were in the ritual room, but we were drained and had to retreat to the hall. Jane was really close. Her hand was trying to reach me, but when I tried to hit her, someone always covered her. So I had to attack from a distance. Shit, where's that revolver when I need it? Jane was strong. What if she was like some kind of boss in a goddamn game? And if we would kill all her followers, she would die. Looks like staying alive until that moment was almost impossible. Strong jaws bit my hand and I skinned it. God, how painful. I felt dizzy and fell near Martin's bag. There was a spare lighter and a can of spray deodorant held within. Looks like before going to Grace's birthday party, he went to a gym. The killer has to be fit, right? I didn't care about it too much. Like a child of the 21st century, I saw a flamethrower, but it was too late. I can divert their attention to myself. Are you sure it will work? Pointed at the flamethrower with her axe and then quickly cut off the hand of the monster girl. It shouted and stepped back swinging with the stump. I got up, took the flamethrower and pressed the button. The fire stream filled the space in front of me, but even if it was weak, I started walking forward anyway. Ella had slain 2 girls who were defending Jane, and when the new squad of guards started reinforcing, flame of fire touched the bracelet. It turned black and began smoking. As strange, I saw that some girls were wearing golden bracelets. They were the hardest to kill. Silver and bronze ones were for Ella. Her axe could break them, but very rarely. Martin knitted the bracelet for his lovely sister, Jane himself. Jane himself? Oh wait, he did. He did that for Jane, himself. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Wonder what expression she wore on her face when her brother gave her that, and what he felt when he understood that it was a payday. The knitted bracelet turned into a flame circle, like the one which tigers jump through in a circus. In a moment, the girl started turning to ashes. Her teeth knives were falling from her mouth, sticking to the floor, creating a wicked smile. The bandages disappeared, and I saw her slashed face. Blood was flowing out from her eye holes, and the girl fell to her knees, hiding her face in her hands. But her hands began rotting and immediately fell off. Her face was so ugly that I turned away. Her jaw flopped on the floor, and the body turned to ashes. Looks like we did it. She smiled at me. I don't know what you're up to, and I promise to help you in exchange for my life. Can't promise it for sure, but you can take a risk. I'll do whatever you ask. I can torture, I can kill. She hurt you so much, and I understand what you feel, Ashley. Grace must suffer after what she's done to you at school. After all the bullying and jokes. You understand me? You, an asshole that traded your friend for your pathetic soul. You understand? My eyes flashed with coldness. Follow me. But it will be helpful for me. Ella's on my side. Anyway, I decided to keep my distance from her. Who knows, maybe she'd want to cut my head off. We started climbing up the stairs, and suddenly a ball fell to our feet and then disappeared. I heard a clockwork key creaking. Toys, geez, a baby again? Assholes like killing babies. I looked at Ella. She looked focused and was holding the axe ready. So focused that I thought that she'd kill me in a second. Ashley. Spirits that like talking the most. Spirits of greed. I looked closely at Ella's face. Do you kill a baby, bitch? Did you kill a baby, bitch? Who are you? I want her to swim with me. I must help you? Not really, but if you don't help me, we'll be swimming together. There's much space there. Plenty of it, Ashley. I'm not going to hell, not today. But they have reserved a room for me. Haha, you're funny. Can we be friends? Probably. You share things, Ashley? I can. She couldn't. Ever. Of course you mean Ella? No response. Seems like she doesn't like talking too much. Nah. I saw Grace. She was holding a knife in her hands. The girl ran straight to me, but when she noticed Ella with an axe, she realized who was a real prey. Grace honestly flashed her eyes at us and rushed to the bathroom, locking the door behind her. I couldn't let Ella kill her, so I wanted to grab Ella's hand, but I didn't have a chance. She came to the bathroom's door and prepared her axe. The little goth hit the door, and the axe was broken to pieces. What the hell? That wasn't the deal. I guiltily looked at her. Of course, there was no guilt. Ella wanted to run away, but I won't let her. The mist surrounded her. She couldn't run anywhere but to the bathroom where Grace was hiding. I heard the waters meandering, and a quiet sobbing of a girl in the bathroom. Ella started feverishly knocking at the door. I don't want to die because of you, Grace. You bitch, get out of here. I will kill you. Kill you, asshole. The girl began scratching at the door with her nails. When she ripped off one off her finger, she screamed. Whoa. Oh, okay, I accidentally clicked out of the game. Okay. Seemed like she saw something in her bloody reflection. Don't look at me like this. I told you not to touch Mr. Bubbles. She rushed at me and fell on her knees. I warned her so many times. Ashley, believe me, I'm not guilty. She stopped looking at me. Ella stared down again like the gates to hell were on the floor. Through the half-open door of unknown and beyond, Missy Albert was calling her sister to play. Leave me alone. I don't want to play with you, little shit. I must have burnt your corpse, little bitch. Ella jumped quickly and, pushing me away, ran down the stairs. The crimson blood rushed after her, and on the last step, a cold hand grabbed her ankle. Ella fell on the floor but managed to get up. Izzy grabbed her hands and pulled down, making her fall on her knees. No, let go of me. Let me go. No, you're on my stage, and what to do with you, I'll decide myself. I heard a loud, painful scream. You know what she did when drowned me, Ashley? I shook my head. I didn't know. She took my bricks from the box and stole all of my toys. She didn't leave me anything except Mr. Bubbles. I drowned with him in my hands. I am sorry. She deserves this, right? Deserves to feel pain. What time is it? Of course. Missy tore Ella's arms with such force that I heard the sound of breaking bones. Both arms flopped in the bloody river, and hands with fingers spread in pain sank straight to the bottom. Bleeding Ella fell and choked with her own scream. What have you done to me? What have you... Ella cried for some time, but soon bled to death. She caught Ella's hands from the blood and brought them to her lips. Dead fingers seemed to creep into her mouth themselves. Her sharp teeth milled the bones and she swallowed them like delicious sweets. Missy was staying near her sister's corpse for a long time. I used the opportunity, rushed to her, and took the toy away. I tore it apart and the girl started crying. She fell in the blood pool and disappeared. I came to the bathroom's door. Grace, it's time to come out. It's time to die. But nobody answered. Grace, Grace, damn. I began knocking the door with a knife with such force that I almost broke the blade. Take it easy, Ashley. The door became transparent. I saw Grace lying on the floor. It was like her body got caught in threads. Every inch of her skin was cut. These were guitar strings. I recognized them at once. Her body looked as if someone wanted to play tic-tac-toe but didn't care to start the game. Shit. I saw her putting clawed hands on Grace's head, raising the scalp and taking the brain out. She clenched it with her slippery fingers like a beefsteak. With pride, I can say it's finger-licking delicious, a bit arrogant and pretentious, but good enough to eat. I quickly went down the stairs and took the axe that was lying near Kate's corpse. Something glittered in front of me. It was a thread. Anna, Grace's victim, was standing in front of me, but I didn't care about her death. I wanted to finish all of this as soon as possible. The girl caught my hand in a noose and pulled. I lost several fingers and screamed in pain. She ran at me again, but I managed to wind the thread around my knife, and pulling her towards me, I cut her eyes out. Then I took the guitar, hanging behind her back, and broke it apart with full force. The girl cried and exploded into pieces in pain. The blood painted all of the walls red. Exhausted, I sat on the floor. Satisfied? Of course, my dear sister, of course. My mom and dad appeared before me. They were calling me. I just needed to step on the ladder of life. I was climbing higher and higher. The stool creaked. The noose started tightening. No longer than 3 minutes. Otherwise, it will be the end. I know. My parents were smiling at me as usual. The same smiles as if I was watching the same movie over and over again. My sister was standing by my side, and for the moment we were like a real family. I saw that my parents' eyes weren't smiling. I didn't pay much attention to it before, but it was bothering me this time. These 3 minutes of death seemed like a week to me. I could stand with them for eternity and feel myself alive. But the wonderful dream was coming to an end, and in several seconds I found myself in a nightmarish reality. The door closed and I was left alone in a trap. Do you want to perform the ritual again? Oh. Oh. Gregory Deerfield was transferred into this department not so long ago, but loads of people had died already. There was a murder in the asylum, in the factory, and in the old abandoned amusement park. He slowly approached the house and, having opened the door, took out his gun. Gregory saw the corpse of a young girl on the floor. Her hands were spread like wings, as if she was flying to get something. To get her head that was lying far away. So far from her freaking body, Gregory pretended to have never come to this house. He was still outside, or better, he was driving on a highway far away from this place. He swallowed, and finding the phone with sweaty fingers, he made a call, glancing at the damn star. He would just tell about what he had seen, just call Inspector Burroughs, and go away as if he never came here. Somewhere in the chief's office, the phone would ring. He would just answer several questions. Fine, Gregory, he muttered. I think you should take a look at the head. We just need to tell the parents about her death. We're humans, after all. Gregory made a step forward. Shit, right in front of the stairs, another girl's corpse was lying. She was curled up, her arms were separated from the body, and her eyes were frozen in fear. All the corpses were fresh. Gregory had goosebumps. The girl was almost smiling at him, telling, "Excuse me, can you please look for my hands?" Actually, he really didn't want to do that, but his curiosity led him to the second doomed floor. There was a young man in the center of the room. Legs, arms were missing, as if a beast tore them off. No, Gregory didn't see it. A half-eaten arm in the corner of the room. He did not see anything. He did not enter the house. He just called to tell about the accident. Inspector Burroughs speaking. Geez, I'm so glad you picked up the phone. I do not even know what to say. The corpses are everywhere. Maybe it's even more violent than the murder at the school. It's absolutely insane. I see. Calm down. You see the star. Who cares about that freaking star? There are torn limbs everywhere. It is hell. So you saw it. Yes, the star and candles, as you told me. One more place. This is the third such accident already. Looks like it's getting hot soon. Do you think it's somehow connected to Phantasm, Inspector? Phantasm? Don't know, it's probably some kind of experiment. Geez, what on earth is happening in this world? I think you should ask the devil. Oh, that's it? You completed the ritual and saw your parents. Excellent. But is this the whole point? Is everything so simple? Maybe you should see another ending. See you later. Well, I could see another ending. Oh. Well, that was Silenced the House. I'm not going to be doing any more of this. I'm not going to go find the other endings unless people ask for it, or if the series gets a lot of likes. Then I will definitely go and do the other endings. But for now, this is all that you're gonna see of Silenced, and that's some really cool outro music you got going on there. I like it. Anyways, if you guys liked this video and this series, press that like button. Comment if you want another episode of this to try and get the other endings. Subscribe to my channel. This has been TV Weez. I'm out.